Man, since this connection's excellent, I wonder if my audio is going to be a lot better too.
Sounds good. Got the countdown going.
Let's see. I have your link here. It doesn't show like the countdown.
We'll start in a moment. I think we're on delay.
Oh.
Right. Here comes New England.
Tannehill. Tannehill.
Yeah, I wish. I wish they had the ball. $20 seconds. $10 Sports is back. Put the game on mute, actually. All right, everybody, it's your host, Moose. Welcome to $10 Sports. No, it's been a little bit. It's been like, what, 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, roughly.
Been 3 weeks. We're happy to be back. Took some much-needed vacation down to Florida, but as we always do, you know it's time to hit that intro.
10
Dollar
Sports.
Good evening, everyone. It's your host, Moose, here live on YouTube for our live version of the podcast. And, of course, as always, the co-host is here. It's MRod. How's it going, MRod? Happy to see your connection is looks to be working pretty well now.
Yeah, we actually, there's 3 weeks, I went ahead and I know I had some connection issues and some, hopefully this fixes my audio too. But I think we got a strong connection. You shouldn't see my resizing, fingers crossed, of course, of my screen as we usually did. But hey, you know, that's all we can do is give it a go. But we're pretty confident that we have fixed all of our technical issues. Shout out to a friend of mine, Mike Maggio there. He went ahead and connected me with a much better internet connection than I had previously, so I appreciate that. And Moose, so we've been gone for 3 weeks. Partially, Moose was, I'm gonna jump the gun and make the announcement. He hit our first $10 parlay.
Yes.
So
I think we threw it up on Twitter. The Twitter's been going on and off for the last few weeks. I know just our timelines. We wanted to really celebrate hitting the first and probably only $10 parlay we're going to hit this year. But again, just kind of travel down to Florida and just needing some vacation. And I know you were taking some time away as well. But we're happy to be back right in time for the NFL playoffs. But before that, we're going to rewind a little bit to Week 15. And just ahead of time, forgive us for our kind of truncated review of our picks from like a month ago. I don't even know who played who, but we do want to celebrate. Both of us actually doing pretty well. I think you went 5-1, and I got 5-0, and finally hit that parlay. But before we get into it, don't forget you can always watch our shows live, either pre-recorded or live, like today. We'll put our links out on Facebook and Twitter. Always watch our videos on YouTube at our channel at Balls, Brews, and Bros. That's our kind of our mother organization, if you will. Balls, Brews, and Bros, the network, home to $10 Sports, the Bucking Hangover, and Thunderdome Puckcast, and soon a new show that we'll announce on the Bucking Hangover, which we'll record later today as well. But of course, really our big pledge to you is listen to our podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on Google Podcasts, and I actually just got an email a week ago. They finally approved us for iHeartRadio, which
Awesome.
I've never used iHeartRadio for podcasts, but apparently that's a thing. So if you're an iHeartRadio app user, you can look for the Bucking Hangover and $10 Sports are both on there as well, so you can listen to us on the go in your car, working out, late at night if you just want to hear a masculine voice talking to you about sports bets. We are here for you in any way you want to use us.
Hey! It's not a masculine voice. You are audible candy.
Audible
It was like
candy.
candy coming into my ears. Um, but yeah, excuse us from looking away a lot. We both are having the Patriots game on there.
Yeah, we've got it going on live. 3 minutes ago, it has been the Derrick Henry show, which has been amazing to watch, and really what I anticipated.
A person
And
close to your heart, but go ahead.
yeah, I know. I still have his handwritten letter. I'm still waiting for certification from the appraisers on that one to make sure it's a certified Derrick Henry letter. But that's neither here nor there. About 3 minutes left to go. No scoring going on at all in the second half. Titans up 14-13. Is this the end of an era? We'll talk about that shortly as we get to our picks for the playoffs. Of course, one big game already happening. Mike sporting the jersey of winners like he usually does with the Texans, but we'll get to that shortly. Let's go over our Week 15 picks quickly again. Probably not going to remember who the teams played at all when as we go through those. And then, of course, a reminder, make sure you're subscribing to us on YouTube and liking our videos as well. So, Mike, your picks from Week 15. I know we got to go back a little bit. The Bucks, of course, with the Lions. I couldn't tell you who anyone else played other than the Broncos. I think, was that the Texans matchup, maybe?
Let's see here. I think the Broncos. That was the Kansas City Chiefs one.
Oh, that's right, in the
They
snow.
played in the snow.
Snow. And we were really feeling the Drew Lock love there, and the Broncos came out and scored a whopping 3 points in Kansas City in a blizzard, basically. But pretty amazing showing, though. 5-1.
Yeah, I took the 9.5. The way Drew Lock's been playing in Kansas City's subpar defense, definitely made me think that they were going to be able to keep it close. But I failed like every better should know better. I failed to take into consideration the snowstorm that was going on there, and Drew Lock's first game. But then also, the game was in Missouri, and Drew Lock did go to school in Missouri. So I figured, maybe this is just going to be like the good old days when he was back in Mizzou. But anyways, yeah, I missed that one. That was a hit in the gut. I wasn't even going to play that one, but then I saw the way Drew Lock's been playing. I went ahead and went with it. So kind of hurt to miss that one. But, it looks like, to combine, we were like 10-1. So, I mean, I'm pretty excited that we actually gotten close and made some right calls here. But looking back here, this was the Bucks played the Lions. I brought the schedule here. Oh, this was the Patriots played the Bengals. I don't know why I didn't take like the minus 12 or whatever it was, but yeah, they pretty much beat the Bengals by 21 points. And the Seahawks played against the Panthers, which it was closer than what expected, 30-24. But
that was already I think already Ron Rivera was out of the picture there, so we knew the Panthers are going to be tanking the rest of the season.
And then you got the Green Bay Packers. They were playing against. What did Green Bay have? Oh, the Bears. They were playing against the Bears. It was a 21-13. Green Bay Packers won that one. And then the Philadelphia Eagles.
Is that Cowboys week?
That was
or Giants week. Redskins week, yeah.
37-27. Like we said, they scored only 3 points, and they lost by a lot. So what was the final score of that game? Looking on here, that final score was 23-20. It was 23-3. Kansas City won. So that's the one that prevented me from winning. What is it? They're like 160.
Yeah, it's about $170 or so. So tough break with the Bronchies. unfortunately, for MRod. But 5-1 did improve the record. I know as we get to our solo shots, you'll be able to see the record scrolling down below. Let's switch over to my picks, and no red X's on there at all. You'll have to remind me who everyone played, though, Emrod, because I don't have the schedule in front of me. I got my TV on my other screen. I know, of course, the Bucks. We figured that was going to be an easy pick against the Lions. We talked about the Seahawks as well, kind of an easy game for them. Saints probably played someone really, really bad. Looking at the, it was right at -400. Was this? This wasn't Thanksgiving week. No, it was the week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it was.
Who'd the Bills have?
It was like 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. The Bills had the Steelers.
Oh, that's right. Because they were slight underdogs for that one. Who'd the Saints have?
Saints had I want to say they had the Colts that weekend.
Right.
Yeah, the Colts.
It was the Colts, and then Minnesota Vikings probably had Chargers, and I think that was, they took care of business against the Chargers there. So went the perfect 5 for 5. Let's see if we get the teaser popping up. I'm trying to see if we can get the record coming up at the bottom. I probably need to add the record up top so we look at that for next season, compare where we're at. I think you were inching closer to 500. The 5-0 really helped me jump over 500 for the year. We'll see how these picks go for the NFL playoffs. And again, 2-minute warning now. Looks like the Titans are getting close. There's probably just one first down away from icing the game.
Yeah, and Patriots only have one timeout here, so looks like they only need this first down, 2nd and 9, a minute and a half, a minute and 33 seconds left.
Here comes Derek Hatch. I'm probably a couple seconds behind you. I think I'm streaming on the app, so no spoilers. Got Derrick Henry right now, just ran for 1. Anyway, let's hop on to your playoff picks for Wildcard Weekend, Emrod. Of course, with the NFL slowing down to only 4 games, makes our winnings come down a little bit, especially if you're just doing the $10. Walk us through your picks, Swift. Looks like one of them's about to take a big hit there.
Yep, it definitely does look that way. But fortunately, the Texans got me a push there with their -3. They ended up winning by 3. So that's a push there. So they kept me alive. Deshaun Watson, making some magic happen there in overtime to.
I couldn't believe that. I don't know how he got away from that sack. I was cheering like, "Oh, they got him!" And nope.
I mean, that's the Michael Jordan of football right there, according to Double Swing. But I picked the Patriots. Going into Gillette Stadium. It's Ryan Tannehill's been playing very good, and the way I look at it, he's still Ryan Tannehill. So I guess we just got to forget about that Ryan Tannehill from Miami and realize Ryan Tannehill is the man now. But yeah, I picked the Patriots at home against Gillette, 4.5 points. I thought the Patriots would be able to handle this with a touchdown, especially Tom Brady and all of the everything everyone's been saying about him, saying hey, he's done, he's almost over, his career's done, the era. And usually when people talk like that about Brady for the past 8 years, he's proved them wrong. So I kind of banked on Brady, as you can see right up here. I got just one of these directions here that way. I got his jersey right up there.
It's right up there.
And just got to support Brady. He's been one of my favorite players for a long time. And then I got the Seahawks here going against Philadelphia. Philadelphia just hasn't been looked like a team that has been very good lately. They look like they've just been getting kind of lucky and just squeezing by these wins.
No, I mean they have no one who can catch the ball. I think they're down to I don't even know the guy. Goddard now is there. I don't know if Zach Ertz is playing.
I have no idea.
We don't know if Alshon Jeffrey's playing. Who knows who's playing wide receiver or an eligible receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, it blows my mind that the spread's only 2.5.
Yeah, I think that game when they were playing, I want to say it was maybe like week 13 or 14, where like every receiver started getting hurt. Josh McCown was actually their emergency receiver. He was going to go in a receiver if another receiver got hurt, which is kind of funny. But yep, so I got the Seahawks winning this one. Over in Philadelphia, I think the Seahawks will be able to control this game. Russell Wilson Magic will be able to get this through. And then we got the Saints playing against who they got again?
Oh, Vikings.
The Vikings. I don't know why I forgot about that, but playing at New Orleans, as we know, New Orleans is a tough place to play. I don't know if Kirk Cousins will be able to keep up with Drew Brees, and their pass defense for the Vikings have not been what's used to. So, I mean, Drew Brees and Mike Thomas are pretty much going to take full control of this game. So, I think this is the game that they can probably win by a good margin, I believe. So,
Well, it looks like the New England pick's about to have the big red X. Brady's got 15 seconds to go about 99 yards. At least on my TV. The game might be over on your end, but great punt by the Tennessee punter downed
wow.
inside the 1 yard line. So maybe
Pick six. Pick
oh,
six.
and that's potentially how the dynasty ends.
Um, I mean,
I think he's got to be back. He hasn't really talked about retirement at all. I mean, he looks fine. I think the offense had bigger problems than Tom Brady in New England. I mean, I
yeah,
know.
they didn't have a receiver either, so they were having receivers issues. They didn't have that same tight end that they're used to having. Other than Julian Edelman, who else is he going to throw to on that team? If you think about it, and the run game was not nearly as good as it's been in the past. So I'm not going to say it's all on Tom Brady. I mean, he worked with what he had. So I mean, don't make some big moves. I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody like AJ Green or who else is another free agent or something like that sign over there in New England. Maybe they'll make a trade finally, get OJ Howard over there, get them a big tight end or another tight end who's pretty good. And I think New England's not over. I think they still got like another year or so left in their bucket there.
Yeah, especially with how their defense. I mean, they've always had, arguably a top 10 defense. This year was the top one defense, which kept them really into games. They're winning games in different fashion this year. Low scoring games, which is kind of why I took the under on this one, as well as the game before, the Texans and Bills game. We knew that was going to be an under, with the Bills' average margin of victory being like.
Ah man, and bring your Mariota in for the
Oh,
point.
is this
We
going to
get this
be?
playoff appearance.
Is this going to be his swan song with the Titans as well? I wonder where he ends up next year.
My bold prediction is I don't know why, but I just keep visualizing him in the Chargers uniform.
The
I can't
Chargers.
explain why. Can't explain why, but that's why I visualize him in. Oh, they put Tannehill back there. Oh man,
Oh,
it juked Mariota.
called the timeout. Then yeah, they had him run one random play. Like what was it in the second quarter? I don't know if you were watching. They just like, oh yeah, go in, and they ran like a 3-back set with the quarterback of Mariota, and he completed like a 2-yard pass.
Yeah, and going back, I did think I think the Titans had an awesome chance of winning this, but just betting wise, I just couldn't bet against the Patriots on this one. But I kind of felt that the Titans were going to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I will move over to my picks because that is who I had. Had the Titans plus 4.5, but my big loss, of course, with the big red X going to the Buffalo game. That was a crazy, crazy tight game, just how I expected it. I mean, that game has to be one of the biggest, has to be in the top 15 choke jobs over the past at least decade of football. Buffalo Bills going into fourth quarter, basically up 16-0. Their defense was playing lights out. They sacked Deshaun Watson 7 times or 8 times during the game. But the one that mattered, they couldn't get that one sack. He escaped in overtime, completes a 35-yard pass to get in a field goal range, and that's all she wrote for the 2019 Bills. So big X for the Bills. Not going to hit the parlay this week, but
but the Bills are still a young team, and I think they got a bright future ahead of them.
Josh Allen looked deer in the headlights for like the last 2 quarters of that game.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
It's only a second-year quarterback.
I know, but if that's a definition of that was a definition of literally taking a crap in your pants in a high stress situation. I mean, how many years has Deshaun Watson been in? I mean, he looked like he was ready to play. I mean,
his 4th year, I think.
With 2 of those being injury ridden and not playing in the playoffs, I mean, he looked like a different player today. Definitely for when you're comparing to and here they go with the New England is not giving up. They were throwing the ball around, and now the game is over finally. I don't know. Just maybe you're right. That's Josh Allen's
Yeah,
first playoff game.
I don't think Brady ever imagined he'd be meeting up middle of the field, shaking Tannehill's hand in the playoff after after losing to him.
Tannehill and Mike Vrabel, who played with him.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Look, he is Mike Vrabel's so happy right now. He's going to go shave his mustache again. Wow. Yeah, well, look at all the reporters around Brady. Everyone's like, "Oh, is this going to be his last? This it? Nah, this isn't it for Brady. There's no way
I don't think
there's no way
yet,
he
but
goes out this way."
there's been a lot of like talk about him possibly like being in the end of this New England era. If he plays next year, it'd be like in a different uniform. So, yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think so. I think he ends up. I mean, Robert Kraft and him have way too much of a relationship. I think Robert Kraft would probably let Belichick go before he let Brady go. To be
Right.
honest with you. So.
I mean, that's the identity of that team. So, uh, called the Titans plus 4.5. So feeling good about that. I feel pretty confident, and I think we've had the same picks for tomorrow's games. Saints at minus 420, Seahawks at minus 145, and that's probably shifted a little bit since we took those bets. I mean, part of me wanted to take Philadelphia in some crazy, like, oh, here comes Carson Wentz. And I think it's Carson Wentz's first playoff game, isn't it? Because he's been injured the last two rounds, and Nick Foles has saved the day, right? I think it's his first playoff start
right.
finally.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right.
So I think we'll see how that goes. I still think Seattle takes care of business, and man, part of me really wanted to take the spread for Saints Vikings. I just wanted to play it safe because I think the spread was getting up to like 8.5.
And also, I think Brady will not retire with his last throw ever being a pick six.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely the Jameis Winston way to go out, and unfortunately, I don't think I see him doing that as well. So, those are my picks for now. We've got the Moose's Monster teaser, which is still alive. I think I teased 6 points. It looks like so. I got Bills plus 9, which happened. Got Titans plus 10.5, which happened. And I took the unders on both of these games. Under 50, under 50.5. Both of them happening. So we're still alive going into Sunday for Moose's Monster Teaser. For tomorrow to hit, I took the overs tomorrow. So we got the Saints minus 2. Seahawks plus 3.5. And then for the Saints game, you got to be over 43.5, which I think should happen. And then Seahawks Eagles needs to be over 49.5. So feeling good about those. We'll see how Sunday shakes out. We might have a teaser hit, which would be my third hit of the year. That'd be great. We'll keep you updated on that on Twitter. Make sure to follow us at $10 Sports. And of course, MRod at Balls Brews Bros all together. So we got the over-unders for the games. Of course, 2 of them happening already. The would have hit the under, just a straight up under with no teaser. Bills Texans under. I called under 44, and this game under 44.5. Both are looking good. The real lines for Seahawks Eagles, which I think might be a little tougher, and why I teased it, over 45.5, and I'm calling over 49.5 for the Saints and Vikings. Of course, that just depends on which version of Kirk Cousins comes to play. If it's the version of the Vikings that are going to score 3 points, then we're not going to hit the over. But hopefully it's a little bit of a shootout for those games. What are your thoughts, Emrod?
I mean, I like obviously the first 2 are already done, so good job there. The over on the Saints and Vikings I like. I do not like the Eagles and Seahawks. I probably would have taken the under on that considering the cold weather. And both offenses seem to be a little bit off, especially the Eagles there. So I mean, they're I don't know, man. You're gonna need the Seahawks to probably score like 35 of those points,
right?
30 to 35 of those points just to have a shot.
Yep.
Philadelphia, I don't think scores more than 14. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I like what you did, but except for that Philadelphia game.
So we will see and keep track of that. And of course, the 4 p.m. picks don't exist. So that kind of brings us to the end of the show. Can't believe the Patriots go out on Wildcard Weekend. Kind of That hasn't happened in a long, long, long
Well,
time.
I think this is the first time they played in Wildcard
10
Weekend since
years, right?
yeah, 2012, and then and this is the first time they lost at home in the playoffs since 2012. So
That's crazy.
because
That,
in 2011 they didn't make the playoffs after going 11-5.
jeez.
They that was the year Brady was out with a torn ACL, and Matt Castle stepped in and took the team to 11-5, and they didn't make the playoffs. The Dolphins won the division that year.
Yeah. Man, Matt Castle made himself some money that year, too.
Yeah.
Went off to Kansas City and rode off to the sunset with whatever guaranteed money he had.
Yep, absolutely.
So what's the playoff matchup look like on the AFC now? I think you have Titans heading up to Baltimore, and then the Texans heading over to Kansas City. I'm happy about that. I think that might be a better game than if the Texans ended up going to Baltimore. I could have seen the Texans getting worked pretty good there.
Yeah.
So I think that game will be a little bit closer. And then I don't know if I like Titans at, at the Ravens. That might be interesting to see.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be actually a much better game than anticipated. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be within a touchdown. So.
And we'll see what the lines come out for that, and we'll make sure to have $10 sports next week in preparation for divisional weekend for the NFL. So, thank you guys so much. We appreciate the patience. We are back from vacation, so we should be back on our weekly schedule. Things may slow down a little bit with the NFL season coming to a wrap, and I don't know if we're quite ready to start throwing money at XFL quite yet. I don't know if we're at that level of degeneracy. But we're going to start looking at NBA and NHL games, so we might do a shorter version of the show, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, kind of going over some key NBA matchups for the week, key NHL matchups, and of course highlighting the Lightning and some of the work that I've been doing over on the Thunderdome Puckcast. New episode tomorrow morning, by the way, I promise. No, I've been promising you for 3 weeks, but it's ready to go. So, again, reminder, make sure you watch us on YouTube live as usual or pre-recorded, and listen to our podcast, now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and I got to add the iHeartRadio logo as well. That's been it for $10 Sports this week for episode 15. It's been Moose and MRod. We'll see you next week for NFL Divisional Weekend.
Have a good night.
Take care.